July 16th, 1969, Apollo 11 was launched from Cape Kennedy in Florida. Sadly, President Kennedy himself, who had set the whole program in motion, had died in 1963 and was not there to see the realization of his dream. But it's estimated that 500 million people all around the world watched the events of the next 195 hours on television. 2.5 minutes after the launch, the rocket had risen to an altitude of 38 miles and reached a speed of 6,000 miles per hour. Its work done, the first stage of the rocket dropped away. The spacecraft, now freed of the enormous weight of the Saturn V and its fuel, fired its second stage rocket and rapidly accelerated to nearly 15,000 miles per hour. At an altitude of 115 miles, it jettisoned the second stage and now fired a smaller booster rocket, which settled it into orbit. This third stage rocket was retained, as it would be needed to fire the spaceship out of the Earth's orbit towards the Moon. Ah, Mr. Filton, there you are. I have been thinking. I know I initially accused the Tarklin Incorporation of sabotaging the station to kill Janice Perel, but Regent Tarlin has pointed out to me that it makes no sense. They could have assassinated him in many other ways during the various wedding planning conferences we have had. No, I think blame lies elsewhere. If I had to guess, I would guess the Delphons. The war between the Sontarans and the Rutans is taking up all their attention. I cannot see either of them opening up a new frontier. No, I believe the Delphons are responsible. A touchy race, very difficult to deal with. Nothing seems to make you happy anymore. Claire, the carer you once described as your friend, has become afraid of you. You have rages and loss of body functions. It's stripped your dignity and left a bitter, vicious old woman instead of my dear Mum. I remember a Mum who baked a meal for a neighbour's family when the mother died suddenly. We hadn't known them well, but you said it was the decent thing to do. Another neighbour gave you some rhubarb, so you returned some in one of your alcoholic pies. We sat and talked about the afterlife, spirituality and art. You particularly liked a Japanese flower painting and mused that it seemed incongruous that such beauty could exist in a society where there was such violence. You cried when a dog ran under your wheels as you drove home from work one night. But now your life is reduced to a pinprick rather than a beacon, and all I can think is, I'm 48, and I'm becoming an orphan, inch by inch. Devouring time, blunt thou the lion's paws, and make the earth devour her own sweet brood. Pluck the keen teeth from the fierce tiger's jaws, and burn the long-lived phoenix in her blood. Make glad and sorry seasons as thou fleet'st, and do whate'er thou wilt, swift-footed time, to the wide world and all her fading sweets. But I forbid thee one most heinous crime. Oh, carve not with thy hours my love's fair brow, nor draw no lines there with thine antique pen. Him in thy course untainted do allow, for beauty's pattern to succeeding men. Yet do thy worst, old time. Despite thy wrong, my love shall in my verse ever live young.